Frank had more money than Mom.
Matthews was the #1. He would have ruled the United States.
He's literally fallen off the face of the earth.
A lot of people looked up to Frank for probably all the wrong reasons.
In my opinion, Frank Matthews was a much larger drug dealer than Frank Lucas.
In 1971, Frank Matthews first came on the police radar, but only by luck.
Well, it was rather peculiar. Had a report from some precinct that there was some unusual going on in an apartment building in Brooklyn.
This was going on, and Kowalski comes along. He was living at 130 Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, which, incredibly, could you imagine this, was the same building, apartment building, that Frank Matthews was living in.
Well, this guy is complaining that there's all the parking places around his house on the weekends are all taken up by out-of-state cars, all going into one apartment.
And he started doing some investigating. And he saw that a lot of these guys were big-time drug dealers that had charges against them or were being investigated, coming from all over the East Coast and from the Midwest. And this was about 1970 it began. About 18 months or so later, he presented it to his superiors. And that's when the investigation began.
Special Agent Jerry Miller and Detective Roger Garay came to our office to break some bread with us and talk about a case they had called the Frank Matthews case.
Once they got the wiretaps up on Matthews' phones, the feds quickly realized just how big of a fish they had caught in their net.
They had a wiretap going, and I heard enough.
I'd rather spend my life in federal custody, but screw it, that's the price of this life, partner, ain't nothing free. Can't really tell you clear what started it, the hard living, the watching Frank Matthews being in all of his John image.